Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve. I am a Christian, voluntarist, libertarian, anarchist, what have you, who likes to rant once a week on Sunday evenings, talk about this crazy world we're living in, and whatever's on my mind, funny videos. And tonight, kind of going to be touching on a blog post I wrote yesterday that has to do with demonic forces in this world and that type of thing. At least from my perspective, I'm no biblical scholar, but there's just things that have been occurring the past few years that has me concerned, or maybe I'm more in tune with what's going on now that I'm kind of strengthening my relationship with Christ and et cetera, et cetera. So before we get into that, I kind of have a bunch of little stupid videos I find funny, and yeah, we're going to start there. And without fail, I have one from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Oh, I should say these are probably from the last couple weeks. I've been sick the past week. Last week I just wasn't feeling good, and I'm still kind of recovering from it. It's kind of nuts. Making sure my stream's good. I think we're good there. So yeah, bad sinus infection or something, but still not quite 100%, but it's getting better. Anyways, so this video, man, dude, Joe Biden is slipping. It's getting pretty bad. Check this out.
I honored a group of trailblazing artists with
Oh,
national medals of art.
I mean, right off the bat, he's mumbling. He doesn't even say trailblazing, which I think is what he meant to say. Listen to this.
I honored a group of trailblazing artists
Man, it's so bad.
with national medals of arts and humanities. The group included groundbreaking Asian Americans like Vera Wang and Joan Shingang. I'm going to pronounce it. Shanga Kawawa. I think I pronounced it correctly. She can call me Joe Biden.
Listen to this again.
I'm going to pronounce it.
He says just enough where you know what he's trying to say. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he just says, I think I pronounced that.
Shanga Kawawa.
Oh my
I think I pronounced it
goodness.
correctly. She can call me Joe Biden.
This is so bad. Why do they put him on a stage like this? Why do they put him in these situations? Oh my goodness. It is so bad. It is so bad. Oh man. I mean, I get it. He's the president of the United States and he's expected to get up and, give awards or whatever it is he's doing here. But I mean, they have got to limit this. It is bad. And he's planning on running for president again? Are you freaking kidding me? What an absolute disaster this is. I I the empathetic side of me feels bad for him, but then I realize the guy's a lunatic, bloodthirsty war criminal who's being propped up by other maniacs. It's bad. Now Kamala, she doesn't have an excuse. She's a lot younger, and we can understand the words that are coming out of her mouth, but it's just that what she's saying doesn't make any sense. Listen to this.
Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
What? She tries to say these profound things that are just nonsense. They're literally nonsense.
hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
I think she just fell out. I think she did just fall out of a coconut tree. And then she starts laughing hysterically, despite no one else laughing. You exist in the reality with which I can't even say it. You exist in the reality in with which you exist. Ugh. What did she say?
You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
What? What is she trying to... Anyways, that's enough of that. Dude, our leaders are not impressive, okay? As if that's not obvious. At least Joe Biden has an excuse. He's just demented. Oh, man. So, there was this funny... I don't know what you want to call it, but, you know, Biden-Harris re-election type of video. And... if you guys are familiar with Alex Stein, he inserted himself in this video, and I found it pretty funny. But just look how cheesy the actual ad is.
I'm on Team Biden-Harris.
I'm on Team Biden-Harris.
I'm Governor J.B. Pritzker, and I'm on Team Biden-Harris.
My name's Devin, and I'm a convicted murderer, and I'm Team Biden-Harris.
Joe Biden rocks.
Joe Biden has been a steady.
I'm Alex Soros, and I'm on Team Biden-Harris.
I'm on Team Biden-Harris.
Joe Biden is driven.
We love Joe Biden. Biden-Harris is the best. We love him so much.
Joe Biden is transformational.
Re-electing President Biden is a BFD.
What is a BFD?
I'm Gavin Newsom. I'm proudly on Team Biden-Harris.
He's going to regret that. He's going to regret that. I think he's going to put in and run for president. Anyways, pretty funny. Alex Stein, I'm not like a huge fan of his, but every now and then he'll put out some funny videos. Much of what he does I find kind of annoying, but speaking of unimpressive elites, I mean, is this not the craziest thing you've ever seen? I mean, again, at least Joe Biden can walk around. Man, Dianne Feinstein, 89 years old, had been, you know, kind of MIA type of thing for months. And in fact, other Democrats were asking for her to step down. And they wheel her in a wheelchair after all this time gone. And this is how she looks. Like, this is the best they could do to kind of make her presentable, right? I mean, man, she looks so old. I mean, she is so old. Oh, man. What is the motivation for her to continue doing this? Wouldn't you hit an age at a point where you say, all right, I've had enough of this. Let me just, you know, I mean, she's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe. And just sit back and enjoy what's left of your life. I don't know. Is that the power, the feeling of power that keeps these people going? I don't know what it is, but she does not look good. So I'm not going to play this entire video, but Matt Orfalea puts out banger videos on YouTube, and you have to check this out.
Joe Biden recently released his first 2024 presidential campaign ad, and it's really not good. 3/4 of YouTube viewers have disliked it. So I decided to fix it with a remix to better reflect reality. Here's my remix fix.
Freedom. The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom.
Under the Biden administration, journalism is a crime.
Less freedom.
Biden holds journalists in jail for telling the truth.
Less freedom.
But if you cut off your dick, you can visit the White House.
Freedom. Personal freedom is fundamental to who we are as Americans. This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about
forcibly injecting stuff into everyone's bodies.
Oh, absolutely. We were this close of a Supreme Court decision for having everyone who is unvaccinated get tested, I think it was weekly, and wear masks and completely be discriminated against across the country because of a razor-thin Supreme Court decision. Everyone forgets that. I mean, that was, extremely divisive. Biden clearly hating half the country, talking about freedom. Give me a break with this guy. Anyways, this is a great video. In fact, he just released another one today that was mind-boggling as to how the unvaccinated were demonized against. Go check his channel out, Matt Orfala. It's really good stuff. All right, so like I said, I think this was over a week ago, but Donald Trump did like I don't know what you want to call it, kind of like, it wasn't really a town hall. It was just like a CNN hour-long, interview type of thing with this chick from CNN. And this is pretty unbelievable. So on the next clip, and it's a super short clip, it's basically this lady, and I forget her name, but asked Donald Trump 3 times who he wanted to win in the war versus Ukraine and Russia. And according to the Democrats, 3 times he refused to answer. And the Democrats are tweeting this out like it's a dunk on Donald Trump. But he did answer, and his answer is something that I don't know how anyone could disagree with it. Listen to this.
Absolutely.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing.
Can you say if you want Ukraine or Russia to win this war?
I want everybody to stop dying.
How could anyone disagree with that?
They're dying.
But you won't say that you want Ukraine to win?
Oh, I'm not kidding you. 3 times she was pressing that. As if, and their mindset is like, hey, if you don't say Ukraine needs to defeat Russia, like, you are a traitor to this country. That's literally how they think. It's absolutely insane. And I don't know how what Trump is saying people can disagree with. Listen, war is hell. We need to stop war. And then let's figure it out. Let's negotiate what it is we need to negotiate so war doesn't happen. Right? And certainly the U.S. should have no involvement in this whatsoever. I'll bet you 70% of U.S. citizens have 0 clue where Ukraine is on a map. And probably Russia. Anyways, that's enough of that. It's pretty mind-blowing. And that's all I'm going to cover from that debate. But that, to me, was like the most unbelievable part of that entire interview, or whatever you want to call it, he did on CNN. It was wild.
Absolutely.
Let's see, what do I got up next?
Good evening.
Oh, okay. So CNN did a follow-up kind of thing. I don't know if this was like the next day. Anderson Cooper got up and had to he had to like have a talk with his audience because people that were watching CNN were upset that Trump was even on their network. As if giving the leading Republican candidate for the president time on your air is like a cardinal sin, right? So he came out and was like, oh, listen, I know you guys are upset and everything, but, and I agree with you and I understand. Well, anyway, someone chopped up his little dumb speech and you'll see what they did to it. They obviously edited this.
Before we begin with tonight's broadcast, I want to say something about what we witnessed at last night's town hall. Many of you have expressed deep anger and disappointment. It was disturbing. That man, President of the United States, predictably continued to spew lie after lie after lie.
you're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
It is impossible to fact check fully because he lies so shamelessly.
It's one thing to have the vaccine, which we didn't have when we came into office.
And it was certainly disturbing.
The Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online.
You have every right to be outraged today and angry and never watch this network again.
So obviously that's funny. They spliced in things for Biden instead of Trump. But it's just so crazy that this CIA tool gets on there and has to have a talk with his audience like, guys, just for the record, even though we put Donald Trump on the air, I just want to let you guys know I'm with you. Donald Trump's a terrible president. Oh, my God.
Good evening.
All right, that's enough of that. Oh, yeah. So, sorry, I put things in this PowerPoint kind of over the last day or two, and sometimes I forget what's next here. But, so, as you know, Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox. And listen to this segment from, I think it was MSNBC. Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, Twitter was already under fire from misinformation, disinformation, all-out lies, anti-Semitism, racism before Elon Musk took over, and now it's gotten kind of crazy, right? Seemingly unmoored, if you will. Will anybody be able to police what Carlson says?
What? Will anyone be able to police what Carlson says? And then this potato head goes, That is... I mean,
or is this the point? It's just a free-for-all.
I think this is the point. It is a free-for-all. It's what Elon Musk wants to provide. This move by Tucker may cement the idea of Twitter as a right-wing website.
Who cares what Brian Stelter thinks about anything? This guy got fired. What are they bringing him back for? Didn't the market speak and say that they don't want to hear this guy? And then MSNBC is going to bring him on for his dumb opinion? Speaking of tools, this guy is an absolute tool. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, this is how they think. They are like, hey, who's going to police what gets reported by Tucker Carlson? You know? Instead of taking what Carlson says and then, arguing that on the merits. No, like, it's just, we need to censor him. That is kind of the thing. And Twitter's a right-wing website. Are you out of your mind? Oh, my gosh. Who watches CNN? Who watches MSNBC? I don't watch any of these. I get all that from... I just see clips online. All right, I think this is my last random video before I get to tonight's topic. I don't even know what this is. I think this must be some TV show in Canada. And I just found this mind-boggling.
He's used to being around firearms, which...
So apparently this couple, this guy and his wife or girlfriend, are trying to go into Canada. I'm assuming they drove in, or I don't know, maybe they flew. But watch this.
Increases our concern. So they're coming up.
Did you hear that? He said this guy is he has a concealed carry permit, which, by the way, I don't know how Canada knows that unless the guy told them that. But, oh my gosh, he has a concealed carry permit. That increases our concern. You mean someone who actually followed the law and went through the process and passed a background check and has all of their fingers fingerprinted and is not a felon? That increases the concern? What an absolute idiot this guy is.
Used to being around firearms, which increases our concern. So they're coming up to attend the Katy Perry concert. He does have a concealed weapons permit in the state of Washington.
Again, I don't know how they know that. That's a little concerning.
Yeah, firearms do you own?
I own one at home.
How many firearms do you own? It's like none of your business.
In my nightstand.
Is that where it's usually kept?
Yes.
Why did you apply for a concealed weapons permit?
Do you believe this? Now he's asking him why you applied for a concealed carry permit.
If it stays in your nightstand? Yeah, we take our firearm laws pretty seriously. You're not concerned about us finding anything in the vehicle? Okay. What is this? We did find a prohibited device. We found a pepper spray. This is a prohibited device in Canada.
Pepper spray, a little keychain pepper spray thing, is apparently contraband or unlawful in Canada. Wow. They just really don't want you to protect yourself in Canada. That's wild. But look at this douche.
So we found this in your purse.
Oh, yes. That's my pepper spray.
Okay. Were you aware that it's a prohibited device in Canada?
I was not.
Okay. You didn't know that?
Yeah, I had no idea. Sorry
okay. Yeah. So
yeah, because that's... I had no idea Canada laws were so insane.
I take your word on that. So you have the choice of going back to the U.S. or you can choose to abandon it.
Oh, I'll just abandon it.
Okay. Yeah. So we gave her the benefit of the doubt. We allowed her to abandon the goods.
I had no idea.
Oh, wow. What a great guy this guy is.
Pepper spray was illegal?
Yeah. Because that's insane. I didn't know that either. Now, I don't know what this is. Danger TV? Are you kidding me? Danger TV? This middle-aged lovely couple trying to go to see a Katy Perry concert? Oh, Danger TV. Danger, red alert. This guy has a concealed carry permit. He's not a criminal. Oh, no. There is a part of me, it's like, maybe this guy's kind of playing it up for the camera, because there's probably not a lot of activity on the border in Canada. And he's like, ooh, I got a good segment. This guy owns a gun and it's at home. How can we make this entertaining? Oh. So what are you supposed to do if you're a single female walking alone at night? What are you supposed to do to protect yourself? Certainly can't own a gun, and you can't even own a tiny little thing of pepper spray? Wow, man. That's insane. Oh, you know what? I'm not even getting into this part right now. See, I was going to talk about that. Wow. Okay, so I have a blog post or website called Christian Anarchist, and I know that kind of triggers some people, but it is the truth. I'm a Christian and I'm an anarchist. Not technically true. Christ is my king, right? But politically speaking, I am an anarchist, libertarian, voluntarist, what have you. Anyways, yesterday I wrote this blog post. And I kind of just want to talk through this a little bit briefly. So I titled this, Demonic Forces of This World Are Very Real. Satan's presence and influence in this world is more obvious than ever before. Or it could be that as I'm getting closer to Christ, it is that much more apparent to me. And, I used to brush off, and this is the truth, I used to brush off obvious satanic imagery and entertainment as a childish and cheap display for attention. I never thought these entertainers were actually Satanists. So you have this goofball here, Sam Smith or something like that. And then this dude, Lil Nas X or something, apparently had these Nikes with a pentagram and a drop of human blood in it. And there were 666 of them. And apparently had a music video of him, giving Satan a lap dance or something. I mean, pretty extreme. Probably done for these reasons, just to kind of be edgy, right? And piss off Christians or whatever. So there is part of me that still kind of thinks that happens. I mean, are these guys actual Satan worshipers? I don't know, but certainly they reject Christ, obviously at a minimum, right? But then I came across this clip, and check this out.
Joining us, Bronca Spalding for holiday favorite, our own Kelly and Jennifer are going to join forces for Go Home for holiday favorite.
So I don't know. She was doing this like symbol thing that apparently like, I don't know. I've seen this, kind of image before of, I guess this a Church of Satan symbol or something, has this like goat head, and he's doing this with his hands, and he has like a female breasts and, a torso or lower, from the waist down, he's a man or something. Or no. Are those hoofs? I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. It's this weird transgenderish type of character. But watch this video again. Watch this. Am I a conspiracy theorist? I don't know. So watch when he does this. He was like, stop that. He was just like, stop that. And then she looked at him and it was like, ooh, sorry.
Favorite, our own Kelly and Jennifer are going to
watch
join
it snap.
forces.
Sorry about that. He's like, stop that. And she was like, ooh, I'm sorry. So, there's something going on. I mean, why else would he be like, stop that? So, again, I don't know, but there's something going on there, right? So, anyways, let me continue. So, perhaps I've been naive my whole life, because it seems everywhere I turn, I see Satan at work. And I'm not only referring to the blatant in-your-face symbology that is demonic, like these entertainers up here, right? So I gave an example, and this was something I happened to just kind of come across, and it got me thinking about this. But in 2016, there was two brothers that tried murdering their parents in their own home. The parents did survive, but at the kid's sentencing, the father said, that night, being in that room, being in that house that night, I saw Satan. And I knew shortly after that what had happened to us wasn't my sons. And that's why I've been able to take the stand with them to be advocates for them. So basically, the parents were actually advocating for the minimum possible sentence for his children, which is insane. But so of course he didn't actually see Satan, but he saw what happens when demonic forces take over, and I am convinced of that. So, we obviously see all throughout Scripture examples of demons being cast out of people. So why would we assume that demonic possession no longer happens? It certainly does, right? So I kind of went down this rabbit hole a little bit. I watched this whole other interview. It's like an hour and a half interview with Dr. William Schnobelen. It was kind of a wild interview. But this guy was like a ex-Satanist, and he also claimed to be a vampire, which I don't know how I feel about that. Apparently he drank blood for like a year. He had like 8 or 9 women that he would rotate through and bite their neck and drink their blood. I'm not even sure it's possible to survive on blood, but again, he thinks he actually transformed into a vampire. So I don't know. Anyways, maybe that is possible. But the guy's a Christian now and talks about these things. But what he said near the end of this interview I thought was fascinating. He said, most Christians think they live in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and they don't. This whole dark world is very real. They would prefer not to think of that. Most Christians tend to downplay the demonic, if they even acknowledge it at all. And I gotta say, this was me. This was me for most of my life, I had zero interest in anything that was possibly demonic. Obviously I had an aversion to anything that would even come close to that. But I didn't, I didn't think about the influence that has on society and on people. So, I grew up in a Baptist church where this dark spiritual realm was rarely discussed. Of course, they would talk about Satan and how he tempts us and that sort of thing. But then I've heard stories where it's the other extreme of charismatic Christians who think Satan is behind is hiding behind every corner, and they cast demons out of bushes as they're walking down a sidewalk, or silly things like that. So this can be taken to a point of ridiculousness, at least in my opinion. But the truth is that these demonic forces are real and they are currently at work. So here's another example. So if you've seen in the news at all, or on Twitter or what have you, Target put out these LGBTQ friendly clothes to kids, like a bathing suit for tucking, or, you know, this kind of thing. And we're talking about for children. It is complete insanity. So someone on Twitter found one of the sellers who has clothes in Target, his Instagram account. And these are some of the images on his Instagram account. So first off, there's like this Ouija board pic thing. I don't know what it is. But then it says Satan respects pronouns. And it has this goat imagery and all that. Trans witches for abortion. Join my gay cult. If I cannot inspire love, I will cause fear. I mean, it's like, listen, if people are saying this stuff, believe them, okay? These people are satanic. And they're trying to influence children. This is the worst part of it. And it's working. So this ideology is demonic. So during the interrogation of one of the boys that tried killing his parents, he actually said, "I wish we could have been more of a cohesive family unit." And it was really odd. They seemed really apologetic, and they admitted to what they did. But it's clear that the entire LGBTQ ideology is meant to tear families apart. In fact, at least one state is proposing ripping kids from parents that refuse to trans their kids. I saw another thing that kind of like fact-checked that argument and said that that was being misinterpreted, excuse me. But it certainly sounds like it's true, and if it's not true now, it will be soon. I guarantee it. The state would gladly take your children away from you if you don't conform to this ideology. Our youngest generation is dealing with high levels of anxiety, mental illness, depression, gender dysphoria, mass shootings, addiction, etc. I'm convinced that all of this is the work of demonic forces. The bottom line is this: Satan is the ruler or prince of this world. And Christ said as much. And we need to be on guard and prepared for his attacks. We should recognize evil and call it out as such when we see it, warning others so they don't fall prey to these attacks. I'm convinced of that. 2 Corinthians 4:4 says, Satan, who is the god of this world, they called him a lowercase g, God, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God. So we need to preach that Jesus Christ is Lord. He is our King. We need to share this light with a dark and evil world. So that is pretty much what I wrote this post about. And I don't know. I mean, listen, I like I said, I've kind of downplayed the entire demonic realm. I saw this TikTok video, and I did share this on one of my streams, but there was this preacher who was talking about, hey, I have he was speaking in front of his congregation and said, hey, I have a book of spells I found at a thrift store, and I'm just going to read a couple of the spells and, see what happens. And then he was like, he basically said he was joking. And if your reaction in hearing that was like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? You're going to summon some dark spirits and all this kind of stuff. And you get worried because of the power that may have. How much more powerful is Jesus Christ is the Holy Spirit living within us. How much more powerful are those forces compared to this demonic force? And that was pretty powerful to me. I mean, you know, we have the creator of the universe, you know, on our side, who loves us and cares for us. Anyways, I'm not used to talking so much. Alright, I have a couple more really dumb videos that I want to share. I know this is so stupid, but this whole Bud Light controversy, really shifting gears here. This whole Bud Light thing is... I've seen so many videos and silly videos like this, but they make me laugh. You gotta watch this.
What's up, guys? I'm gonna do a blind taste test. Coors. Bush. Wow, that's good. One more time. Bud Light. Yeah, it's definitely Miller Lite. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. What's up, man?
It's so stupid. This whole Bud Light controversy is really taken off. I mean, look at this. This thing had 356,000 likes on TikTok or whatever. But it's not just this one. I mean, these things are all over the place. And what's really funny is that Anheuser-Busch loses some sort of LGBTQ rating for missing a key moment to stand up for Dylan Mulvaney. So now Anheuser-Busch is being boycotted by conservatives, and now they're being boycotted by, you know, this community or whatever. At least it sounds like it. And there was this meme. Some of these anti-woke folks kicked Bud Light out, and the trans community picked them up and body slams them. Anyways, pretty funny. Oh, what did I have this in there for? Oh, hold on. Oh, I meant to put this in somewhere else. Again, I don't know. These are just random videos I find funny. Check this out.
Day youth group, and he was just trying to push my buttons, and he was just, you know, kind of not taking the Lord serious. And I went, bam! I punched him in the chest as hard as I crumpled the kid. I just crumpled him. And I leaned over and I said, Ben, when are you going to stop playing games with God? I led that man to the Lord right there. There's time. Day youth group.
Come on. Is that real? I meant to put this afterwards. We need to share the love of Christ with people and be the example, be the light in this world. That's not how you should do it. I mean, at least that's not how I would do it, is going around punching people. It's hard to know if that's real, but it sounds like this really happened. I mean, maybe that kid deserved to get punched in the face, but not a good outreach strategy. I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing here. But yeah, no, that's pretty funny. All right, last thing, I think. Yeah, all right. Kind of tired of talking. I don't talk that much. Throat hurts. Maybe I'm still sick. I am still sick. So I'm a soccer fan. You know, I do enjoy watching soccer. I watch Orlando City soccer games. I have that MLS season pass thing on Apple TV. And I watch them every Saturday night. They're pretty much on. But I happened to see this on Twitter, and this was like, I forget what they said. This was like poetry in motion or something like that. This was an unbelievable sequence of events for a goal. I don't even know what game, this is probably old, but just watch all these. If you're a soccer fan, you'll appreciate this. Let me just play it. They're all one-touch passes. But it wasn't even the goal. It was the build up for it. Like, this is undefendable. You can't defend against this. There was no mistake being made on defense. Besides maybe marking this dude down here. Oh, what a wicked volley. It takes some guts to try to hit this one time. Oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to end this on a lighter note. So, if you happen to have watched this far, I appreciate it. Give me a like, and I'll try to do this every Sunday night. Like I said last week, I was sick, so couldn't do it. But if you have thoughts on this stuff, let me know. I don't claim to be the best in most, I'm not a theological scholar, but I am trying to read my Bible more. I'm trying to learn more about this stuff. Am I wrong on this whole demonic thing? I don't think I am. At least I'm more in tune and aware of what's going on. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great evening and week ahead. Thanks and take care. Bye-bye.